a connection to the paranormal, nor does he now. He says it was just a guy out walking his dog who saw something that stretches credibility. He is still not sure to this day what happened to him. Many people have said he may have encountered a puckwudgie, a legendary creature said to lure humans into the woods and near cliffs so they can fall to their deaths. Story 4. One of the most famous legends of the Bridgewater Triangle is of the red-headed hitchhiker on Route 44. A man was walking up the road after running out of gas. On his way to find a payphone, he saw a red-headed stranger wearing a plaid shirt and a backpack. He asked the man if he was in need of help, but the man was silent. Asking a second time, the man noticed that the stranger's face was contorted and ghostly looking. Out of fright, the man ran back to the car to tell his wife. When he got back to the car, standing outside was his wife, and she was terrified. When he asked what was wrong, she said that she had turned on the radio and heard deranged laughter and a taunting voice that called her by her name. To this day, cars that drive up and down Route 44 have spotted the red-headed hitchhiker, either walking along the side of the highway, standing off in the distance, staring at the road, and some have even had him show up in their back seats while they are driving down the dark highway alone.
I told you. Sorry.
Story 5. When the police start getting involved, you know something is up. Beginning in the 1990s, the Freetown police started finding mutilated cows in nearby forests. Shortly after this discovery, 3 baby calves were found killed in the same demented way. They all seem to have been slain in a ritualistic manner, and it has been suggested that it was the work of a satanic cult. Those responsible for the mutilations were never caught, and no one knows to this day what group or individuals were doing it. Besides the animal sacrifices in the swamps and woods, there have also been other cadavers found, human ones. In 2014, the bodies of 2 women were found in the woods near the border of Brockton and Abington, Massachusetts. Many of their body parts were severed, including a foot, a calf, and part of an arm. The cadavers were placed on top of one another, and there were signs of ritualistic activities. Unfortunately, this case was never solved. So the question remains, is this the work of one deranged slayer, or has the cult that mutilates animals moved on to bigger game? Some blame the mysterious cultists, but the police have never given any credence to that claim. Story 6. Multiple children have gone missing in the Bridgewater Triangle, and a few were never found. But one story does have a happier ending. A little boy named Alden Johnson was playing with his sister outside when suddenly witnesses nearby had heard a horrifying scream. When they ran to see what was wrong, the boy was suddenly gone. Hundreds of volunteers and police gathered together and searched for the missing boy, but there was no trace of him. 24 hours had passed when a group of searchers witnessed Alden stroll out of the woods. He was carrying a bundle of mud and twigs and asked one of the rescuers if they would like to buy some flowers. Incredibly, he seemed healthy and claimed he had no memory of the past day. The only thing he did remember was that he was compelled to go pick flowers because he felt that they would make him rich. No one knew where he went or how he was unharmed in the swamp overnight. Story 7. While the entire Freetown forest is littered with dark energy, the most infamous spot is an 80-foot deep rock quarry called the Assonet Ledge. Or better known as Suicide Ledge. It is associated with a wide range of really weird phenomena, including ghostly orbs, UFOs, and worst of all, suicides and disappearances. There are an enormous amount of abandoned cars inside the quarry, and visitors frequently describe being overcome with a deep sense of dread and dark thoughts about jumping as they near the edge of the quarry. There are numerous reports of ghostly forms that have been seen jumping from the ledge and disappearing just before hitting the water. And others claim to have seen someone teetering ominously at the edge before vanishing right in front of their eyes. The area that the Bridgewater Triangle covers is so large, ranging from Bridgewater, Easton, Raynham, Freetown, Rehoboth, Dartmouth, and Taunton, and all the cities that lay in between. With so many varying stories of death, suicide, murder, Native American war, cryptids, extraterrestrials, ghosts, curses put on the land, and so much more. It is hard to believe the extraordinary amount of strange encounters said to have happened on this vast array of land. Whether you believe in it, some of it, or just one story, there is just too much out there that has happened or has been seen on this land. With an incredible amount of books, movies, museums, and documentaries made around this place, there has to be something to it, right? For an area to have collected such an incredible amount of folklore, stories, and sightings, is it even real? Could there be areas that collect the strange and attract the abnormal like a magnet? The Bridgewater Triangle certainly sounds like the place to start looking to try and answer at least a few of these questions.
Wow.
It was a lot.
Dude, no, like, I always love your stories, but every once in a while, we do a show where I am legitimately on the edge of my seat listening, and this was one of those ones.
Really? Because I absolutely hated it when I was writing it.
No, it was good.
Thank
it was
you.
real good.
Thank you. There was just so much, and it was just hard for me to figure out how to.
There's a lot with
put
this
it
one.
in, like I don't know.
That was I've known about the Bridgewater Triangle for a long time.
I did not.
And I knew that. I mean, a lot of the stories, like, all right, if you go up north and you find people who have a paranormal story, 9 times out of 10, it's in this area. I can't find any reason why.
Right.
And now, originally, when we were doing this episode, I was like, well, I'm going to throw in the Colonial Triangle, the Bermuda Triangle, and there's one in China, I believe, called the Dragon Triangle. And I thought, oh, well, we'll just fit all these into one.
Do a whole thing.
There's no way.
No,
so look forward to it in the future, listeners, because you're going to get one on the Colonial Triangle and the Dragon Triangle. I
like these because they're so different than a place or, somebody's home or like an axe murder house or, you know what I mean? Like,
oh, yeah.
And I think
axe murder house.
Yeah. No.
It's always an axe murder.
And I think that just having such a vast array of things on a stretch of land, no matter how big, no matter how small, it is so strange and so interesting and just intriguing
For
to
sure.
want to learn about just all the stuff that happens there.
Oh, yeah.
And I mean, we just kind of touched on it. There's so much more.
Oh, there's way more.
There are books from people who experience specific
There
things.
is a full documentary called The Bridgewater Triangle. And if you
Yep.
are intrigued by this story, go watch it. We watched it.
It's good.
It was freaking awesome.
It's good. And I actually read a thing while I was researching that they are trying to make a series, a TV series on FX about it.
I will watch it.
I know.
I will definitely
I was
watch
like,
it.
ooh.
So, yeah, I mean, this place it's huge.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody from up north knows how creepy this place is. I've been to the Ledge. I've been to Profile Rock. I've been to Dighton Rock. I've been to all these places.
Mm-hmm.
And I've had a few experiences, some small, some big. But, I mean, even our story on Taunton State falls within the Bridgewater Triangle.
It does. It sure does. And
So-
in doing my research, Taunton State came up quite a few times.
I'm sure it did.
Yep.
It's the blight of Massachusetts. Well, I mean, I think it's about time because, good God, we have told a lot of stuff here.
Yes. It's
And,
a lot of information.
Was a lot of information. I had a lot of fun doing this one. I wrote a lot. Shout out to legendsofamerica.com.
We always have such good stuff.
And who were the other ones? Definitely Wikipedia. I always
Hello.
go to the great Wikipedia. Yeah, mainly those. I mean, Legends of America, if you don't know about that website, go check it out. Everything you ever want to know about like haunted stuff and historical stuff is on there. And I don't know who's writing it, but good God, they need to pay them more.
Yeah.
It is well written and it's fun to read. So check that out. I know we've got some good episodes coming up. A little disclaimer to everybody who's been listening. We know everybody's a fan of all the big places, all the well-known stuff. But really, we were just trying to like get our foot in the door because we didn't really know what doing our own podcast was going to be like.
Yep.
So expect a little bit more obscure places, lesser known places and stuff like that because, I mean, what else can we really tell you about the big stuff?
Yeah, the big stuff's been told so many times.
I'm not saying we won't do that stuff.
No,
It's just
absolutely.
not,
There are places that just have to be done.
Yes, it's just going to, well, they'll just be more far and few between
Yep.
because they've been done to death and there's no reason for us to tell you again.
Mhm.
So just throwing that out there for everybody. I'm trying to like get to the end and we haven't even done
I'm
the
like,
the
what are you
last
doing?
part.
You
I
haven't
don't
asked
know.
the question.
There's no more questions. We're done. All right, I'll see you later.
You bet, sir.
Oh, wait, I'm back. I'm back.
Thanks.
I'm back. It always draws me in.
Thanks for that.
So, in for the booze tradition, I will start off by asking you, Megan, do you think it's real?
Yes, absolutely.
Just boom. We're
Yep.
just in.
Right out the gate.
All right.
I do. Now, is everything listed here and more, are they all true? Probably not. But are there crazy and weird things that happen in a specific area that pull things in like a magnet? Yes, absolutely. I think there are absolutely places that could be like that and are like that. And I think there's more than we know. I do.
Oh, there's definitely more than we know because we're not very smart.
No. But now to you, Stephen.
Yeah, dude, look, of course I think it's real. I've been here. I've had experiences here.
Mm-hmm.
And regardless of whether or not anybody listening believes or not,
Mm-hmm.
there's a lot of unexplained things out there. You can justify it however you want, but until you've been out there and you see, hear, and get affected by these things,
Right.
it's really hard to explain. I am more of a skeptical person by nature.
Yes, you are.
I mean, I do believe in the paranormal. I just don't believe in it on a level that other people do.
Mm-hmm.
And when I go out there, I wholeheartedly believe in it 100% just
Wow.
because I've seen things.
Yeah.
I've heard things. I know so many stories that come out of this area. Not to mention, you're talking about one of like the oldest areas in America.
Mm-hmm.
You know, this is part of like the original colony stuff.
Yeah.
So there's definitely stuff going on out there. There are definitely cults. I've seen stuff out there like satanic cult remnants and stuff. People leaving stuff behind. There's just so much crap out there. And look it up. Look it up for yourself. If you don't believe or anything and you think we're crazy, do your own research on this place. You will find tons of it.
There's lots out there.
Of YouTube videos. There's tons of YouTube.
Oh, yeah.
What was it?
Exploring with Josh.
Exploring with Josh.
Yep.
Josh, if you ever listen,
He did a great video.
I keep trying to tag you on Twitter. I'd love to have you come on for an interview. I know you're busy and ultra famous now.